you know, L.A. is getting better and better about the theater of L.A. Sometimes I get very upset because I'm a New Yorker and I see plays around, but there are good shows coming here. As a matter of fact, there's a Mexican-American boy's journey, self-discovering himself as a child growing up in Texas, I think it is. Is that right, my darling Stacey Martino? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Stacey Martino, Italiano or?
Italiano.
Italian? Yeah, Italiano too.
Ah.
And Rene is your husband, Rene Rivera. How are you?
Rivera. Hi,
Rivera.
Skip, yes.
That's a nice name, Rivera.
Thank you.
You grew up here in Texas, you say?
Yeah, I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and
But San Antonio is a little swinger town in Texas.
a swinger town?
Well, it's liberal, more liberal than others. Is that correct?
I would say so. Perhaps not as liberal as Austin, the capital of
Oh,
Texas.
that's what I'm thinking of. I'm sorry. You're
yeah.
forgive me.
We're about 80, 85, 90 miles south of,
Okay,
of Austin.
Austin's
yeah.
the
But
hottest.
Austin's
Yeah,
the
Austin's
great
great.
Yeah,
capital.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, you grew up as a Mexican boy.
Yes.
At what age discovering yourself?
Well, I discovered myself like any other child, you know, at a very young age.
Were you free as a little bird running around the town of the...
It's interesting you asked that because I was. I was, and I had a lot of time on my own with my own self.
And what happened to your parents?
Well,
They let you go.
They did. They let me go. I was the last child of 6. And I was the 6th child, and my parents were not, you know, old school. They were from a different past generation. And so by the time I was born, to boot, they basically let me go wherever I wanted to go. And I didn't take advantage of that. I just, I did. I wandered around my neighborhood a lot.
The
used
play
my
is,
imagination.
it's a one-man show. And Rene, I mean, your wife evidently directed it and wrote it,
She wrote it, and she is putting it all together.
producing and all that.
Rivera, who's also a member of the Actors Studio, is directing it.
This is the members of the Actors Studio, all you people together from the studio of
The writer,
actors
the actor, and the director.
and the director. The Actors Studio in New York or L.A.? There's two of them.
The director and I came from New York.
New York.
And Rene also came from New York, but he got into the studio here.
Here.
In L.A.
Shelley Winters, tell me about her. Did you meet her?
I did meet her a few times.
Did
Yeah,
she?
wonderful lady.
You ever
But I think Stacey had more of a connection with her than I
Stacey,
did.
yeah.
She thought I was a drinking, boozing man.
She thought she mistook him for somebody else one day in
No,
the
she
studio.
reminded her the husband that one day.
I think perhaps that was
I don't
it.
even
Yeah.
know you.
And I actually
Yeah.
took it as a compliment for some reason.
The Italian husband, you know that?
Yes,
The one?
yes.
Yeah, Gossman.
Oh, she used to tell great stories in class about him.
He was a great guy, though. Good
Yes.
actor, too.
Yes.
The play, it's a one-man play. What made you, who did it?
Well, I wrote it, and what happened was when Rene and I got together, I met him at the Actors Studio, and I only knew him as an actor. And I always said, this man...
And you're married now.
We are.
And you have a beautiful little girl. Looks like
do.
Ava Gardner, matter of fact. She's adorable.
Her name is
Go ahead.
Ava.
Uh-huh.
She's 2.5. But I used to just love his work. And he did a play of Jose Rivera's, actually. And I saw this play. And I said, that man is the most unbelievable actor I've ever seen. Years later, we end up dating and together. And when I went home to meet his parents, I was so intrigued by this town that he came from. It was such a different world from anything I ever knew. And his parents, I got these great stories and about his mother gave birth to his oldest brother, put the baby under the wagon because she was working in the fields, and went back to work. I mean, that's the kind of woman this was.
These are earthy people.
Oh, unbelievable.
Earth.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So these stories started accumulating every time I visited. And I just had to tell this story. And I thought, what better opportunity than for Rene to play.
To get on stage
and play
do
16 characters.
Absolutely. Playing it all, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it tough for you to talk about this on the stage? To work through this journey?
Well,
Because because you had a tough childhood.
Yeah.
It was tough for you.
Yeah, it
As
was
a
tough.
Mexican boy
Yeah,
growing up
yeah.
in those
Yeah, not
San Antone.
Yeah, not you know, and growing up not speaking English and having to learn English in school, and you know, I don't want to sort of glorify it because everyone has had a difficult
Yes, yes,
childhood
of course.
to a certain extent, you know, and some have been much more drastic and much more severe than the one I came from. But that being said, it is hard to answer your question. It is hard to put it up there and to open up internal, deeply rooted emotions and feelings. So the approach to the work has been very arduous and it's been very deeply felt at the
Did
same
you go
time.
to New York after leaving?
San Antonio.
Yeah.
I did. I went to. I lived in New York for 14 years.
14. See,
14
you got
years.
that taste of
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the
I moved to
the
New
Al
York.
Pacino taste. You know
I'm-
that.
I moved. Oh, he's great. He's wonderful.
He's one of my
He-
favorites.
he-
He's a great actor.
He's a
great human being.
He's a great human being
And a great face.
I know he's amazing. You kind of have the same face.
I know. No. But you, I'm dying to see your work. I bet you are
thanks.
just great. Huh?
No, he's unbelievable. He really is.
What have you learned about the actor's studio growing up, learning acting? What have you learned about that Strasbourg,
I think you know.
his technique?
For me, it's not something that I can put into words and describe it. But the closest I can come to verbalizing it,
Truth.
to answer your question, is constantly searching for the truth.
Truth.
Always searching for the truth.
That's what Shelley says all
And
the time.
and
He
that,
has
that's
the most integrity I've ever seen as an
That-
actor.
Really?
The integrity is unbelievable. He won't lie.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thanks. That's what I've learned. That's what I've learned or come to realize.
Yeah.
And it's something that we all have as human beings in our souls, is searching for the truth.
You've done a lot of theater in Manhattan, did you?
Yeah, I did. I did a lot of theater in New York and at the Public Theater.
Yes, that's
at
a
Circle,
great-
Circle in the Square.
Circles,
As a matter of fact, I was in a play with Al.
Pacino.
With Al Pacino.
Which one
at
was
Circle
that?
in the Square. Salome.
Salome.
By Oscar Wilde.
He's been working that film so
He's in
long.
the movie.
You
Rene's
and the movie.
Yeah.
I saw that movie
Yeah.
at
Or
in
at the
Beverly Hills
at
at
the
a
Was-
little
Oh, you saw the screening.
the screening.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see it?
No, we haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God, I do remember. Yes.
Yeah.
I saw the screening. He goes crazy. He's just doing over and over and over. It's
Yeah.
wonderful.
You've done it with him twice,
been-
the play, right?
Yeah, there was a production that we did here that Estelle Parsons directed at the Wadsworth Theater.
Right.
And yeah, I was fortunate enough to be able to go to New York and live there as a young man. I feel like that's my second home. I feel like New York is where I became.
As a theater actor, you got to go to New York.
Yeah, it's like I feel like that's where
That's
I
it.
became. That's where I became
You found yourself.
a young. I was born. My young adulthood was born in New York. So
Yeah. Now, growing up, let's get back with this play, this one-man journey, a little boy's journey, really. What age does it start?
It starts at 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And, 10% of the proceeds of this are going to the National Latino Children's
Oh, I like to hear
Institute.
that. Tell me.
It's a wonderful organization.
And this is going opening of
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de
May
Mayo.
5th, and it opens at the El Centro Theater.
El Centro in Hollywood.
In Hollywood, right near Paramount,
Right.
804 North El Centro.
Uh-huh.
And it's really, the reason we chose this particular place to donate money to is because it's the only organization that is purely for the voice of Latino children.
Yes.
And, there's so much going on in the world, especially in America right now.
We're having a lot of problems.
And this is also something that's really important. This is a Mexican-American journey that this play is about. It's a very American story because Rene is American.
Right.
His parents were American.
Yes, and they'll stop you. In Arizona, they're stopping people. Like if you're dark, you're Mexican.
Yes.
and you got to have papers on you.
Wow.
This is your country.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Who the hell do they think they are?
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's another way. I understand we have a lot of crime, a lot of people coming over the borders and stuff, but there's got to be another way to attack this. This is not the right way.
Well, that's part of why I wrote the play, too, because, once I fell in love with this man and experienced the things that he had gone through, I was like, I have to know more about this history, about, I knew the basics that, we were Mexico at one point.
Right.
But, there's such beauty in the lineage. There's such beauty. So many things come from the Mexican heritage.
Oh, they're beautiful people.
Ball games, the most American thing in the world,
Simple,
baseball.
yeah.
Without this
And
culture.
simple people, and they love their family, and it's a family. They're family
Oh,
people.
absolutely.
Now, you grew up where, in New York?
In Philadelphia.
In Philadelphia, growing
absolutely.
up. And what made you become an actress?
Well,
You're a wonder.
almost
Go
the
ahead.
opposite. I didn't have that kind of culture to grab onto.
Right.
Which is one of the reasons I was so passionate about writing this play, to know my daughter's culture and her lineage. I came from a very confused background with lots of different half-sisters and stepsisters and brothers and so I always I was adopted by an Italian,
Oh,
father.
really? Oh, you were adopted?
Yeah, so I was sort of lucky to get into that culture, and I grabbed onto everything I could. But that's one of the things I think that makes this play universal, is that, you can relate to it. A Mexican can relate
Anyone
to it.
can, yeah.
Anyone can.
Yeah, yeah.
We've all felt on the outside.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the thing that really brings us together. And I think, going back to what you were both saying, is anyone who becomes an actor, I think, becomes an actor to find out who they really are. It goes back to the truth, which is the whole theme of this play. It's a man's search for beyond the acting, beyond the culture he comes from. Who is the truth of him? So I relate to that a lot. For me,
You're still a member of the Actors Studio?
absolutely. I mean, that's our family. We met there. If it wasn't for
And you
them,
teach, I understand.
I do.
You teach acting?
I do.
So
And
people contact, you're in Hollywood, are you?
I am. I'm in Hollywood.
And you're listed under as what? So they can-
I just people
just
can call me privately if they
privately?
wanted. Yes.
Okay.
But first of all, let me just say real briefly and quickly.
Yeah.
Stacey is an exquisite writer, and very just so soulful.
The words are coming out very easily for you.
Yeah. Yes and no.
Okay, that's good.
Yes
Go
and
ahead.
no. There's tremendous challenge in them as well.
Makes home life interesting.
And she is a highly respected acting teacher. So
Thanks.
The El Central
He's great.
Theater is a 100-seat theater?
no,
45.
45?
It's extremely intimate
Why?
and it has a very.
Oh, one-man show. Okay.
It's got a very just intimate, exclusive feel to it.
Really?
Yeah, it's
And historical.
and very historic. We're in the Charlie Chaplin Theater, and
really beautiful.
it's.
Oh,
yeah.
really? Oh, okay. I'm not too familiar with it then.
Yeah, there's an
believe-
antiquity there that has a great feeling. It has a great feeling.
It's right by Paramount Studios.
a block away from Paramount.
We're going to come and see you guys.
Oh,
and
Thank you,
Great.
Skip.
this sounds
you.
very good, this play,
Thank you
this
very much.
wonderful journey of a young man who's discovering himself. And did you find yourself? Looking back, did you find yourself? Or are you still searching?
We're still, it's still happening as
still?
we speak. But I'm very close. It has been tough.
It has.
It has. Yeah. It's been.
What have you found out about yourself growing up and doing the play, going through these lines? What have you found about yourself, Rene? What have you discovered?
It takes a tremendous amount of courage to face yourself, to truly look at yourself and say, "That's me. That's who I am." And I feel like I've learned that I can be courageous. That I can have I can look at my life and the people that have been in my life, and as a tribute, treat them with integrity and with respect.